Daniel Carter had built a name for himself online, not for kindness, not for inspiration, but for tearing things down. His videos were short, sharp, and ruthless, especially when it came to faith. He mocked prayer, laughed at miracles, and stitched together clips of pastors just to make them look ridiculous. And people loved it. Thousands of comments, millions of views, a growing following that fed on sarcasm and disbelief. To Daniel, it was all just content. "People believe anything," he once said into the camera, shaking his head with a smirk. "You pray to someone you can't see and expect what? A miracle?" That line alone got over 2 million views. So when he passed by a small, quiet church one afternoon, he saw an opportunity. The building wasn't impressive, just a simple structure tucked between a convenience store and an empty lot. A wooden sign out front read, "All are welcome." Daniel scoffed. He pulled out his phone and hit record. "All right, guys," he began, turning the camera toward himself. "Today we're outside one of these places where people come to talk to the sky." He flipped the camera around, showing the church. "Let's see if anyone's home up there." He laughed at his own joke, pacing slowly along the sidewalk. "Seriously though, people come in here, pray, cry, beg for help, and nothing happens. No voice, no answer, just silence. Imagine believing someone's listening to you right now," he added, looking straight into the lens. "No offense, but that's crazy. Not as crazy as you think." The voice caught him off guard. Daniel turned. Standing a few feet away was an older man. He looked ordinary, gray hair, worn jacket, calm eyes. Nothing remarkable, yet something about his presence felt steady. Daniel raised an eyebrow. "Oh, we've got a believer." The man didn't react to the sarcasm. "I used to say the same things you're saying," he replied gently. Daniel smirked. "Yeah? What changed? You see a light in the sky or something?" The man shook his head. "No, I just reached a point where I had nothing left and no one else to turn to." Daniel rolled his eyes. "And let me guess, everything magically got better?" The man looked at him for a moment before speaking. "No, but I wasn't alone anymore." Daniel let out a short laugh. "Right." He turned back to his camera. "You hear that, guys? Not alone, even when you are." He ended the recording and slipped his phone into his pocket. "Hey, no hard feelings," Daniel said casually. "You believe what you want. I'll stick with reality." The man nodded, unfazed. Then he said one last thing. "Just remember, sometimes you don't realize you need him until it's all you have left." Daniel didn't respond. He just waved dismissively and walked off. That night, Daniel uploaded the video. Within an hour, it started gaining traction. Comments poured in. Some people laughed, some argued, some defended their faith. Daniel didn't care. Engagement was engagement. He tossed his phone onto the couch and leaned back, satisfied. Then his phone rang. He glanced at the screen. Mom. He almost ignored it, but something made him pick up. "Hey, what's up?" Her voice was shaking. "Daniel, it's your sister." His stomach dropped. "What happened?" "She collapsed," his mom said, barely holding it together. "We're at the hospital. They don't know what's wrong." Everything inside him went cold. "I'm coming," he said immediately. The drive felt endless. Every red light, every second, every breath felt heavier than the last. By the time he got to the hospital, his mind was racing with fear he couldn't explain. He found his mom sitting in the waiting room, eyes red, hands trembling. "They're still running tests," she said. Daniel sat down beside her, trying to stay composed, but his thoughts were spiraling. This wasn't supposed to happen, not to his family, not to his little sister. Hours passed, no answers, no updates, just uncertainty. For the first time in a long time, Daniel felt completely powerless. He stood up and walked down the hallway, needing air. The hospital was quiet at night, too quiet. He leaned against the wall, staring at the floor. And then, without warning, the old man's voice came back to him. "Sometimes you don't realize you need him until it's all you have left." Daniel clenched his jaw. "No," he muttered, "I'm not doing that." But the silence pressed in on him. The fear, the helplessness. It was unbearable. He slid down into a chair, hands shaking, and for the first time in his life, he didn't have a joke. No sarcasm, no confidence, no control, just desperation. He swallowed hard and whispered, barely audible, "God, if you're real." The words felt foreign, uncomfortable, but he kept going. "Please help her." Nothing happened. No sound, no sign, just silence. But something inside him shifted. He sat there for a long time, staring at the floor, tears slowly falling. Then suddenly, "Daniel?" He looked up. A doctor stood in front of him. His heart started pounding. Yes? The doctor gave a small, almost puzzled smile. She's stable. Daniel blinked. What? She's gonna be okay, the doctor said. We're not entirely sure what caused it, but her condition improved very quickly. Daniel just stared at him. You can see her soon, the doctor added before walking away. Daniel sat there, frozen. He didn't understand it. He couldn't explain it. But one thought kept echoing in his mind. I wasn't alone. The next morning, Daniel picked up his phone. The video from the church had gone viral overnight. Millions of views, thousands of comments. But this time, it didn't feel the same. He opened the camera. No setup, no script, no music, just him. I don't really know how to say this, he began. His voice was different now, quieter. Yesterday, I made a video making fun of people who believe in God. He paused. And last night, my sister almost died. He swallowed, emotion rising in his throat. I was sitting in a hospital, and I didn't have anything left. His eyes filled with tears. So I did the one thing I said I never would. I prayed. He looked straight into the camera. I don't have all the answers. I'm not suddenly perfect, but I know this. He took a breath. Last night, I wasn't alone. Later that day, Daniel went back to the church. He looked around, searching, but there was no sign of the old man. He stepped inside and asked a pupil if they had seen him. They all shook their heads. No one like that comes here, one woman said. Daniel stood there, confused. Then slowly, he looked toward the front of the church, and for the first time, he didn't laugh. Maybe God is closer than you think, even when you're not looking. Subscribe to Jesus' Way for more stories of the goodness of Jesus.